Hello, hello.
What up,
Welcome,
though? What up, though? What up,
welcome.
though? Y'all like, what
How
is,
is everybody
y'all like, what
doing?
is these crazy
What
fools
are they
doing?
doing?
Assalamu alaikum, my brothers and sisters. Okay, no, we,
Welcome to
we're back.
Blaze and Soul Podcast. We are back from our Egypt trip, and tonight we're going to share a little bit about the trip. So,
Yeah, it was a awe-inspiring trip. I keep using that word with Egypt, but it was amazing. Best trip I've ever went on by far. I had expectations for the trip, and they far exceeded my expectations in every form of fashion. So to that, I say that it was my wife and my family who put the trip together for me, and I couldn't have asked for anything better, without a doubt.
yes, definitely. So we had some questions about the trip and how we book and all of that good stuff. So we wanted to share a little bit about that with you guys and also share everything that we did along with any questions. So feel free to ask us anything you want to ask. Like, are these people crazy going out of the country in this pandemic? Whatever you want to ask, ask.
Hey,
we are here to answer your questions.
tell me I ain't killing them though with the headscarf. Tell me I ain't killing them. I need one of these in every color, red, blue. I'm gonna start wearing them to work.
He loves these.
Man, that's
He
what's
fit
up.
right in. They thought he was the king over there. Okay, he's walking around. They're calling him king.
Hey, there were some people who thought I was Egyptian. All bullet to the side. It was an amazing trip. We seen just about
Yes.
everything that Egypt has to offer. I mean, the pyramids, the
Yes.
Sphinx, the catacombs, just
Everything.
an amazing,
Everything.
amazing experience. Our tour guide, Miriam, she was utterly amazing. She had every day planned out, like from 8 o'clock in the morning to about 8, 9 o'clock at night. We was moving, we was going
Yes.
places, eating, taking in historical sites.
Mhm.
It was something to behold. No doubt.
Yes, definitely. So we'll start from the beginning of the trip. As far as booking and everything, we're part of a travel club called Dream Trips. And so for those of you who are interested in that, it's only $29 a month. And you get to have access to all of these different exclusive trips at a discounted rate and at wholesale. So traveling, it's a travel club, you get it wholesale. And there's different levels if you want, like the perks of the exclusions, the body. We have bodyguards, you guys, and everything.
I'll
But
talk about that in a minute too.
we'll
Please,
talk about
for real.
that. Yes. So, but we'll start from the beginning, just so that you could follow along, and so that we could share a little bit. So the trip itself, it was part of a 4-day or 5-night, 4 days, something like that, trip for $379. Okay, that covered myself, and then $379 for Marcelo, and that covered everything except for the flight. So that $379, it covered the hotel, the all-inclusive, some lunches, some dinners. It was complimentary breakfast, but some of the dinner cruises, all the excursions and stuff, I believe was included in that $379.
Yes.
If you have like the different levels, then you get, extra perks and everything. So airport, as far as traveling during this time, somebody also asked me that as well. You do have to get tested.
Everything. You got to go through everything. You got to get tested, a certain type of test.
Yes.
You got to do these declaration forms. Of course, your passport has to be up to date and whatnot. But I think in the past week, I've taken damn near 4 COVID tests.
Yes,
okay?
we are COVID free.
No doubt.
Because we've had to take so many COVID tests. And the crazy thing is the test has to be within 48 to 72 hours from the time that you travel. And that's just about how long it takes to get the test back. So sometimes you get nervous, you run into some snags. So you have to plan it just perfectly, because you need that slip. It has to be a PCR test. And it can't be like a rapid test. It has to be a PCR, because you actually need the printout that says that you are negative. So you have to do that 2 within 72 hours, it can't be, further than that, within 72 hours of your trip going there and then 72 hours coming back.
It's insane.
Yeah, and then you have to fill out like these declaration forms, and to say that you are attesting that you're COVID free and you've done your tests. Like it's insane what you have to go through right now. However, it was so worth it. I mean, we would do it again.
Yeah, a trip of this magnitude. I mean, we spent $800 or $900 each on the plane tickets, then roughly $400 on the trip itself. So for $1,200 a person goes halfway around the world. You're in a nice hotel,
beautiful hotel.
Yeah, you have stuff planned for you every hour of every day.
Yes.
Food. I mean, it's well worth it, without a doubt. Well worth it.
And the bodyguard.
Man, let me
we
tell you
have our own
okay?
personal bodyguard, guys.
We're going around, you know what I'm saying, on the bus. We got our own bus, or we'll have our own like minivan. And we had a gentleman suit, the sunglasses on, didn't say much, very hospitable guy, but he was for real. And I'm like, who's my man?
Yes.
And they're like, that's your security, that's your bodyguard.
Yeah.
One time we were at the pyramid and he sat down and he was taking a call. So he lifted up to place the call, and his jacket raised up. I seen the sidearm, first of all, it looked like a 9mm sidearm right there. Okay, then he had to motion a certain way. And when he motioned a certain way, we seen the shoulder strap with the Uzi hanging inside his jacket.
Yeah.
The man was prepared for World War III.
Yes.
And it was our personal, personal bodyguard.
Personal bodyguard. And I think he played in some movies.
Yeah, he did some
Or he was like, or either that or he was a bodyguard to The Bodyguard. You know that movie, The Bodyguard? No? Okay. It was something like, well, he was in some movies. But if you look at some of our pictures, which, haven't had time to post because we literally just land. But once I post the pictures, look in the background. You'll see our bodyguard like randomly, I mean, they're so good that I was taking pictures and I almost fell. He was over there. He ran over to catch me because I almost fell. And so that's how aware and how amazing it is.
Also, one of my aunts went with us. One of, just a very independent, vibrant woman that she is. But he took care of her.
Yes.
Like that was his mom. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
She is a little bit older, but man, you wouldn't know it. She is everywhere. And anywhere at any time. She walked
72 and she looks good.
Just walked as much as we walked, did everything that we did. But he made it a point that when getting off the bus, he was right there to help her. Walking down the steps, walking where she wanted to take a look at stuff. He was with her every step of the way, protecting her from vendors, whoever was coming up to her. That kind of went above and beyond what he was contracted to do. So
definitely,
man, he was amazing. He was amazing.
And you guys, it was like amazing. We kept hearing sirens, and we had no idea. At first, we thought it was part of the bus, like they just did the sirens. They drive like crazy, by the way. But we heard sirens, and guess what? Like we had no idea. We were being escorted by the police. Like everywhere we went on our trip, there was a police car making sure, like on the sides, you'll see some of the pictures. There's police cars on the side, like making sure we were straight. Like it was like we were celebrities or something. I mean, it was a police car in the back, like, and then on the side, you hear, making sure everybody stays away from us. They keep everybody away, because they see we're tourists. So, people tend to think we have the money and all of this, and they want to try to, sell us things. No, our bodyguard and the police officers, they catered us.
It was amazing. It was, we had everything mapped out for us from day one. Never felt, I'll say this, it was a different feeling when we were walking around. For me, anyway. I don't know what it was. I won't say that I didn't feel any, racism I can't really put my finger on what it was, but everyone welcomed us. There was no feeling of angst or anything of that nature. It was just, it felt like you were at home, and I know that's cliche to say, but it felt like you were at home. It felt like, you know, you were just around people that you knew. Everybody was very
That's because you're
hospitable.
from there.
Yeah, no doubt. Well,
You're
I will be
Egyptian.
I will be once I change my stuff up, believe me. But yeah, it was an amazing feeling.
Yes.
Just a feeling of being relaxed. You know,
Yeah.
you weren't watching your P's and Q's. I mean, you're watching your P's and Q's because you always got to be on prepared, but it was a different level over there.
You didn't have to feel like somebody hates you or looked differently because of the color of your skin. You know,
like I said, I won't say that specifically it was that, because that could be me, that could be my interpretation or how my mind processed it. But I will say there was just a general feeling of relaxation
of belonging
over there. Everybody was just hospitable.
Friendly.
Everybody spoke, and hey, brother, and where y'all from? And it was just it was a comforting experience when we were over there. And we seen everything. I mean. And I'm trying to think of it. I'm going to get a list from our tour. Shout out to our tour guide, Miriam.
Yes, Miriam.
She went above and beyond. She was family by the time this was over with, without a doubt. I mean, we laughed, joked. It wasn't a, this is my job type of thing anymore. After 2 or 3 days, we were all laughing and giggling, and trying to figure out different things to do. And she was, getting in the pictures. Yeah, she did it all. She did it all to the point
our photographer too.
Yeah, she did it to the point where she was with us from the time we got there. Every morning she was there waiting for us when we came down from the hotel. So that night when she dropped us off, the last day we were there, she was with us all the way up until we had to go to the airport, got our transportation for the airport in short notice, and then was calling while we were driving to the airport to make sure we got there, we were good, anything else we needed. This is after hours. This is when everything is done. This is 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. She's still calling.
She still messaged me to make sure we landed.
Yeah, she's called. She done Facebooked us a few times to make sure everything's good and we back home. She went above and beyond. That was impressive to me.
So amazing.
So let me see. I'm trying to think of everything.
What was your favorite?
We went to? Well, let's kind of list off some of the things.
Some of the things we went. So day one.
We've seen all the pyramids, first of all. All the large pyramid, not only the 3 or 4 that you always see in pictures, but the stepping stone pyramids. We went through the catacombs of the cemetery underground.
The castle.
We did go to the castle and went all the way to the castle and took pictures and whatnot.
Amazing.
We went under the catacombs to see the hieroglyphics that was there. The Sphinx. We seen the Sphinx. Not only did we see the Sphinx and the pyramids, but we rode a camel. Okay,
that was so fun.
To ride to the Sphinx and to the pyramids and kind of just ride around the desert and just have some fun. That
see right there, that's where we were.
Yeah, riding around.
Riding around with the camel.
Camels. It was. And the camels are huge. Okay, we see them on TV and we're like, oh yeah, that's like a horse. No, it ain't like a horse. This thing is gigantic. All right.
Yes.
Let me see, what else did we do here? The Sphinx. Oh, we went to 2 of the historical museums, so we seen all of the relics that they had there. We seen the mummies. We seen some of the sarcophagus. We seen everything on the King Tut exhibit. So we seen the gold treasure that he had buried with him, the sarcophagus. You couldn't take pictures of certain things. They wouldn't allow you. It was too sacred for you to take pictures. Let's see what else. Man. Oh, okay. Twice. Once at night, we had a candlelight dinner. Well, I won't say candlelight, but we had a
boat. It was a boat cruise.
Yeah,
dinner cruise.
Dinner cruise on the Nile, going down the Nile.
Now that was when the whole group. It was probably about 30 of us.
Yeah.
That was when the whole group, went together in this huge boat, and they had belly dancers, or was it belly dancers? They had dancers, entertainment, and all that. But then we had
like a lunch.
Like a lunch cruise by ourselves.
Just the family. It was like 5 of us.
Yeah.
And they catered to us. They had a whole buffet of authentic Egyptian dishes that we ate, music blasting. We just going down the aisle, just having fun, laughing.
Down the river.
They're playing Egyptian music. They're playing American music, hip hop. They got the bongos and the tambourine rocking with the hip hop. Well, I mean, it was ridiculous.
So
it was
relaxing.
ridiculous. And then I think the last night we went back to the pyramids and the Sphinx, and there was a laser light show that went through the history.
You like that?
It was insane. The History Channel has nothing on being there and them telling the story when you're physically there. They're going through everything from Nefertiti to King Tut to I mean, just everything that you would think of about the pyramids and the Sphinx. They went through that history lesson. So it was amazing. We went to
where Jesus was born.
We went to the marketplace. And let me tell you, when you go to the marketplace, everybody trying to sell you something.
Yes.
$10, $5, man, $2. Come on, come on, get this American. When they hear Americans, everybody come running. It's 20 people around us trying to sell us something.
Right.
But the marketplace was awesome. As you see, we partaked in some of it. We got certain things, hand woven purses and whatnot that we were going to give away as souvenirs. It was just an insane time. There was never a time where we were like, man, we're bored. What are we going to do?
No, we were busy from morning till evening.
If anything, it was, man, I need to breathe. We moved.
We were on the go. It was so well worth it. I think we saw everything during our short time there.
Yeah, the tombs. I mean, just everything. We got to, and it was hands on. So it wasn't just go take some pictures. It was going inside, going down underground, and
experiencing everything.
It was insane. Went to some local shops. Had a history lesson on. I think it's papyrus paper.
Yeah.
How it was made.
How the papers were made
right in front of us to show us how it was made and how it became so strong, and just ingenuity at its best. Our people's ingenuity at its best. It was, man, it was something to behold. I mean, we are. I'm surprised we even got on the podcast because I mean we literally touched down.
Just
like
landed,
this afternoon we touched down and then had to go through customs and all the other nonsense and whatnot to get back here to you guys. But we definitely wanted to come on and kind of share that experience on Blazing Soul Podcast's Facebook page. We'll be posting all the videos. You know, my wife usually does a lot of the editing of the videos, and you know, it's not fair to her to be like, hey, get all those videos up as soon as we got back. But throughout the week, they will go up. And it was.
I need coffee, yes, cuz I need coffee. I have my coffee, cuz
I'm running on fumes right now.
Yes,
believe me.
Yes, we literally. And then the time difference, right? It's the time difference. We literally just got off, so you can see my bags.
Yeah, the actual trip was. And it's a funny story behind this, but the actual trip was, we had a 5-hour layover. Now, my wife told me, oh man, this is awesome. We have a 5-hour layover in France. I'm like, oh, that's nice.
That's
really?
tight. We're going to be in France or Italy at first. I thought it was Italy too, because their layover was in Italy.
Don't tell me. I was going to say it, but don't tell me.
What?
We thought it was Italy, but it was France. We're going to leave that alone. Anyway, okay, so she like, it's in France. I'm like, bet. You know what I'm saying? Get some local food, buy some souvenirs and stuff. That's what's up. And we get on the plane, and they speak in German. You know, you can tell that hard German accent. And I'm like, man, it's amazing that they have a lot of Germans on this flight to France. That's crazy. And she like, yeah. She types it up on the little overhead display that you have to show the flight and whatnot.
Yes.
She like, see, FRA.
France.
I'm like, man, I don't see him right. And I'm looking at the map and I widen the map. I'm like, nah, that ain't France.
Yes.
It was Frankfurt, Germany.
FRA. I thought it was France. So we were in Germany.
I'm scared now because, I mean, ain't nothing but Germans around. It's women yelling at me in German. I don't know what's going on. And come to find out, it was in Frankfurt, Germany. So
we were in Frankfurt, Germany.
We had a 5-hour layover in Frankfurt, Germany.
Yes.
Then we eventually went to Egypt. When we got there, guy waiting for us with a minivan just for us.
Mm-hmm.
Nice minivan too. Our name up, found us, got our bags, got everything
Mm-hmm.
situated. Hotel, beautiful hotel. I was a little worried. I'm like, man, I hope we got a good hotel because when you go overseas,
Yeah, you
sometimes
never
you can
know.
pick that wrong hotel where you're like, I ain't sleeping in this bed. But the place was immaculate.
Mm-hmm.
I said I watched CNN on the other side. And let me tell you, there's a difference in television. Even if they're speaking English and they're talking about American things, there's a different take to television when you're overseas. Point of example,
Mm-hmm.
and I cannot think of the young lady's name, tennis player, young lady who I believe is half black and half Japanese, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But when we referred to her, we referred to her as African American. It's African American that's taking the world by storm in tennis, and you know what I'm saying, she's dethroning Serena, and that's our spin on that topic. Well, their spin is this Japanese tennis player is taking the world by
Oh
storm.
my gosh.
They don't translate it to African American; they translate it to Japanese, which struck me as odd. But those type of things, you know, when you watch CNN and stuff like that, it's just a different positioning on the story that they have there as opposed to here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's Miriam.
Hi, Miriam. You need to come on. We're gonna send you a link. Hey, sir.
Yeah, that's another thing. Let me tell you. Okay.
Oh, how about this?
Miriam, beautiful young lady, 26-year-old.
Yeah, she's single, guys.
Oh, I gotta talk to y'all about that too, because I told her I'm gonna put game down and we gonna get her hitched, no doubt.
Yeah.
But you know what? She was like family. We started calling her our daughter by the end of the trip, and she was just utterly.
I can't believe
amazing.
she's still up.
I know, right? She says, "Hey, sir, how about the koshery?" Okay, I'm drawing a blank because I'm still jet lagged. What is the koshery?
Miriam, you need to come and join us.
Man, you know, we will have her on there. Believe that. We when we talk about minorities and role models and entrepreneurs, man, she was hustling from beginning to end.
Yeah,
she's
amazing, guys.
Everything was on point. She was like Obama Bear when vendors and stuff was coming up, backing everybody up off. She wasn't playing that. They said they didn't want it. They said they didn't want it. Y'all back up.
She was furious. Yeah.
Last night we were there. We're eating. We're waiting for the laser light show. And she's telling us, you know, that, you know, she broke up with her boyfriend a few years ago. He's a police officer, and, you know, he treated her so bad. I wish I remember her name, because I throw a shout out here to my man. You did her wrong. It's a beautiful young lady,
it's a
man.
secret.
You do her right. But anyway, this guy was ready to push. I think because we were there, he would push, but he was kind of looking over at her, and I'm telling him, hey, this guy checking around. Go ahead, y'all, you know, have a conversation, talk. So 10 more minutes later, he moves closer to us and he sits like a table next to us. So I'm an American. I was gonna get up and be like, hey, I'll play Mexican. He can go to the Laser Light show with us. But and she loved it. She was laughing. We just had a great time. She is family now. You know, we spent enough time with her and went through enough memories and I guess the interaction between us. She's family, you know, from now on. So even though we're home and she has no obligation to, you know, talk to us anymore or be with, she was calling and cracking jokes and on Facebook, and so she's part of the family. That's how awesome. That's how intricate and nice she was as I told her that she was a tour guide to her family member, because she just did everything she could to make us feel at home.
She wanted us to have that amazing memory too. Yes. So she wanted to make sure we were happy, make sure that we refer people to Egypt. She wants Egypt to have a good name, you know, and because I think that what she said she hears out there is people are scared to come to Egypt, and she wants to change that perception. And so she's done a really good job with that. You're not supposed to tell the secrets.
What was the secret? What? Now all the people know what's the secret. What's the secret?
Men, girl, I'm sorry. It's guys for you.
Oh, that
about her boyfriend.
Hey, we need to put him on blast. Let me tell you. I wish I had a picture. She reminds me of my oldest daughter. beautiful young lady, intelligent to no end. So this is this movement. You know what I'm saying? If he treated her wrong, treated a beautiful young princess wrong, he deserves to be put out there. Flat out, he deserves to be highlighted. And you messed up, bro, because I got a whole bunch of friends. I got a lot of friends, colleagues from college. We're gonna get her hooked up and we're gonna get her down here. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Oh, we love you, Miriam.
No doubt, no doubt. Very special young lady. Very special.
So what else? So some things to know, maybe.
Take tissue.
Take especially
when
women.
Out and about,
women.
When you are out and
make
about,
sure you have tissue in your purse.
Tissue
when you're there.
Yeah.
Because certain places may or may not have tissue, or they'll charge you for it. So yeah.
Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah.
Know the currency exchange.
Yep.
Okay, because I know I paid somebody
more than
mortgage or
right.
somebody car payment, and because I'm sitting up there like, man, I gave him 50, but 100 is only this. Oh, okay,
yeah, so it's around $15 to $16 for our $1. It's $15 to $16 of Egyptian money currency,
which I kept failing to realize that sometimes. So yeah. I didn't. But know the currency exchange and have denominations. Okay, yes. Because what happened to me a lot was I had like $200 bills. I know it's funny to say, but I had a whole bunch of $200 bills, $50 bills, and I had no tens and fives.
Yeah, and some places don't have change.
Right. So when I'm tipping, I'm like, man, I guess I'll give them this because this is all I have. But Miriam finally found out that you're tipping too much, bro. So come on, we're gonna go get you some more money, and we're gonna split it up in different denominations so that you're not giving away the farm. Don't get me wrong. I tip well when I tip, but I didn't understand some of the tips. So like I said, I made somebody feel real good when they went home that night because some of the tips I know that I didn't know what I was doing.
And there are about 5 or 6 lanes, and there's no one stays in between the lanes.
Ain't no lanes.
They drive crazy over there.
Think of Mad Max's movie when they was in the desert and they just going.
But they know what they're doing.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of accidents.
Not a lot of accidents. But if we drove here the way they drive,
you can't text and drive over there for sure.
37 people dead on every street per day because they go straight up to the other car, bumper to bumper,
and slide in. They have their own system.
In, cut you off. People walking across the street, they're not looking at them. They ain't worried about no car. You worry about them. They're the pedestrians. Walk right in front of you. You have to hit the brakes hard. It is a different type of driving experience there. So I'm glad we did have a driver because if we would have got a rent-a-car,
oh no,
it would have been chaos.
We wouldn't know what we're doing. And the Wi-Fi, which is really good. It was meant to be because Marcelo and I were so hooked to Wi-Fi. We're so hooked to our technology. It was meant to be. The Wi-Fi is very limited, guys. That's why if you try to reach me, you were not going to be able to reach me. We had very limited Wi-Fi, and so
that wasn't good, fellas. Y'all feel me? I got a 9 to 5 as a marketing manager. I have my marketing agency, which is me, a handful of contractors, and her. So it was chaos for me without Wi-Fi.
It was tough, but it was tough, but it was good because we've never just totally unplugged. Someone was like, "No wonder I haven't seen you on social media." Yeah, we took a break, and there was limited Wi-Fi, so that's why you guys haven't seen me lately on internet. We were out in Egypt without Wi-Fi.
Yeah, food was amazing. Another funny thing, I don't eat hummus. Okay. I've tried it before. It probably was 10 years ago that I tried it, but I've tried it before. Just wasn't my thing.
But
so
he ate it.
When all the food was coming out, and I'm like, okay, what's this? What's this? What's this? I'm like, what's this? They're like, hummus. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I don't eat hummus. Miriam was like, what do you mean you don't eat hummus? Marcelo, Sir Marcelo, you got to eat hummus
Mister.
from Egypt, Mr. Marcelo, sir.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I don't think I want to try.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's no discussion. Miriam was going to have me try hummus while I was there.
Mm-hmm.
So tried it. By the end of the trip, I'm asking for hummus. Hey, can we get a bowl of hummus here with some bread, please? It was that good. It tasted different. Maybe it was just how long ago that I had hummus, but it was delicious. I mean, we had everything: fish and shrimp and lamb and chicken, and I can't think of the name of the food that we had, but there's one place that makes this dish for miles and miles around. And this is gonna sound
I know
unusual.
that dish that we had, that like everybody comes from far away for that spot.
And let me tell you, this is gonna sound funny, but okay, it's noodles. It looks like chickpeas and a few other vegetables, and then it's a tomato-based sauce that you put on it.
That's what it is. Kushri.
Kushri.
Oh,
Right, that's it. And I'm opening up a kushri shop here. Okay, flat out. We already got the business plan set. She was like, if you open up a kushri restaurant, every Egyptian
will come from all over.
Lebanese descent, they will come all over to have this dish. Now, fellas, let me tell you what this dish reminded me of. Now, it tasted far better, but the ingredients reminded me of Chef Boyardee beef roni. I know that sounds funny, right? There's this amazing dish that is so hard to get, but it's noodles, it's lamb instead of beef, of course,
and it's all in the tomatoes. That's what she
I think
explained
it's the sauce.
to us.
Yeah, I think it's the tomato-based sauce.
That's what she
said.
So you have to make sure it's the right tomatoes.
Mm-hmm. It was amazing. It was amazing. But we had so many different foods. It was far too much food for us to eat, especially when we had our Nile luncheon. There was 7, 8 different dishes that we had there. We were eating. So
yes,
it was it was something. It was pretty amazing. The hotel was amazing. Came down to an amazing full buffet breakfast in the morning time. They're fixing your omelets personally for you. All different types of fresh fruit. It was just it was something. It was something to say the least, without a doubt. The camel experience was crazy.
And you almost didn't want to go on the camel. I said, you can't come to Egypt and not go on the camel.
It wasn't that I didn't want to go, but we had so many things that we had for the last day that I'm like, look, if we don't get to make the camel ride, so be it. As long as I get to see the Sphinx and the pyramids on the last day.
But we got to do both at the same time.
Right, I'm good.
Yeah.
And every person, like, you know, when we would go, we went to a shop and he was telling us about different scents and oils from Egypt. So personable.
Yes.
You know, without even thinking about buying anything, he was just personable. You know, young king, here, I want you to smell this. Young princess, I want you to smell this. You guys want some tea? Let me bring you guys out some tea. So we just sat and just kicked it for a half hour, 40 minutes about different oils they have and what they do and how they affect your chakras, and, you know, just sitting down, just kicking it.
Tell them the fun facts of what the colognes
I can't remember which ones they were, but he was asking us, okay, what colognes and the perfumes do you like? Hugo Boss. This is Hugo Boss. Smell just like Hugo Boss, a thick oil that you, Obsession. I mean, just all of the major fragrances. He said what they do is they take their original oils, they put water and alcohol in it, and then sell it as, you know,
brand it and sell it. More expensive.
Just, you know, giving us a heads up. The papyrus paper, we went in, they showed us what they did and how they made them, and then actually took papyrus and actually chopped it up and showed us how you actually made it and for how long you had to let it sit. Just everybody just kind of seemed to go above and beyond when they were telling us their specific expertise. The gentleman who had the camels, man, he made us get down. We took a few pictures and was like, all right. It's like, no, y'all need to take more pictures than that. You know, y'all halfway across the world. So he taking pictures of us, having us pose, doing all these different things. And all he had to do was, you know, take care of the camels, walk around with the camels, make sure everything was good. and then he could have took us back. But his thing was, I want y'all to have the best experience. Let's get down. Let's do this. You guys look at each other, kiss. I mean, he was all into it.
He
You know
was all those pictures you saw. He took our camel driver, took that for us.
Yeah.
And that camel ride, I mean, it was such an experience. You're like, you feel like you're just on top of the world, and you're just like, wow, like this is so breathtaking. It's just like, this is how they get around. And the camel knows the way to go. I'm like, oh my gosh, is he going to take me off that cliff? Yeah, They're like, no, he knows where to go. Yeah, I'm like, that is impressive.
Yeah, he let go of the camels, told him go ahead. And he was behind us, and the camels went the exact path. I mean, they probably
such an amazing
do this path every day, 10, 20 times every day. Yes. But they knew the paths, like I said, just a crazy, amazing experience.
Everyone needs to go to Egypt and experience this.
If I could, if I could tell you anything, especially people of color, look, go to Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Just once in your life. Everybody wants to go to Hawaii and Puerto Rico and be on the beach and all that stuff. That's cool. Don't get me wrong. There's a place for that as well.
Yes.
But not only did we have fun, we learned a lot about our history, or to a certain degree, a deviation of our history and how life began and how they moved and how they interacted with people and how the Nile was so important to everyone, the world. I mean, that the Nile is the cradle of civilization.
We were on the Mediterranean Sea.
Yeah, we were near the.
We were near the Red Sea on the other side. Like, wow, like all these names you hear in the Bible.
Yes,
we were right there.
It was amazing.
Yeah,
I wanted a souvenir, and I wanted a specific souvenir. So even though, they tried to sell us everything possible, I wanted an Ankh. I didn't want anything. That was flashy. It wasn't to show off and have out like we usually do our chains and whatnot, but something to put underneath. I have it out today, but something just to put underneath the shirt, keep it close to my body, my heart, as a remembrance of the trip. And Miriam moved heaven and earth to get me that. Every 10, 20 minutes, she was like, I know this is a trip that you dreamed about. So is it what you were expecting? Can I do anything else? Is there anything else that I missed that you wanted to see? And you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get you that Ankh, and I'm gonna get it at a good price, and it's gonna be something that you can keep and cherish. Even our bodyguard gave us a little token of his appreciation while we were leaving. Wanted no money for it. We couldn't give him money. I mean, we did tip them at the end, but I'm saying when he gave us these little trinkets, it was just out of the kindness of his heart. So man, everyone made you feel like family, and that is something to say when it's one thing when you are traveling maybe in the United States or Mexico or Canada, someplace close, to feel kind of that brotherly love, but to be halfway around the world and feel nothing but brotherly love from everyone. Everyone was my sister, my brother.
You look like $4 million, yeah, $41 million.
Gosh, people just walking past us, not wanting anything.
You look like a king. He walked around like that.
Yeah, I like that, man. You look like a king. Just keep walking. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing he was trying to get from you. They just, just kind of giving you a heads up and saying, "Hey, man, we appreciate y'all down here." Yeah, that was something to behold. That was all inspiring, without a doubt.
Definitely, definitely. We're gonna probably go again. One of these days. So anybody want to join us, you're more than welcome. I know that there were some other people that were going to join us, but they were scared of COVID, so they either canceled or backed out. But we went anyways, without hesitation. The world was, if Egypt was open, and it was, we just had to take the precautions,
And let me tell you, they take every precaution there.
Yeah.
So every place we walked into, first thing they do, they squirt you with hand sanitizer.
Yep, they squirt
I have been lathered in hand sanitizer, okay? Because when you go in, they hit you with hand sanitizer. You taking that precaution. They're making sure that everybody had their mask on. Certain type of mask they want you to wear. Believe me, they didn't take it lightly. They
Yeah.
took the necessary precautions. And, you know, there's only so much you can do to, you know, kind of ensure your safety. But they did a damn good job of doing everything possible to make sure that, you know, everybody who were interacting with one another was safe. So that's
yeah, even the airline was limited. The seats, you know, they separated, you know, everybody in the seats, and you're required to wear the medical mask. And so, yeah.
My youngest daughter Tia just said, "Bring your kids," and I would like for the whole
Would
family
love
to go.
to, yeah.
No, I think the itinerary that we had might be a bit much for the kids because, like I said, it was from 8 in the morning to like 9 at
It was
night.
a long day.
We was making it happen, but a shorter, more condensed version. I would love for my sons to go to Africa. Now, of course, I want the whole family to go. The girls, because they're older, they would appreciate it more. But young men, I think, need to go to Egypt. Young men need to go to Egypt because they show, you know, they show the economy of the kings and their queens and you know that interaction, but also the interaction of strong men leading men.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Conquering and ruling and you know showing a different side of our culture. It ain't all about the slavery. Believe me, we were. You know, Talib Kweli said that, you know, our greatness came before the chains. And that is quite evident in Egypt that, you know, we were great. It wasn't, you know, our story didn't start when we got on the boat in chains. There was a long, prestigious history before any of that stuff ever occurred. And you get a sense of that. And that's why I say that black men, black males, should experience that and kind of get that thought process that what they get taught here is totally different than what you see and experience over there. You know, over here it's like I said, we have our leaders, and they don't really even talk about our leaders here in the school, but over there you get more in depth. You get that this man ruled for, you know, hundreds of years and what he did and, you know, what inspired him to build certain statues. And fun fact, statues. Okay, so if you see a pharaoh in a statue, and you know how they have the small beard that goes down. So if it's straight, that means that statue. And if I'm wrong, Miriam's gonna be like, "No, that's not it, Marcella."
Right. But you got it wrong.
Right, the way I remember it, if their beard is straight on the statue, they were alive when the statue was made.
And if it's curved.
Yeah, if you know how you see the little curve at the end on some of these statues or pharaohs, if it was curved, then they were dead when that statue was made for them. So just little fun facts like that Miriam would let us know. And it wasn't just her talking; she would get on you. You know, hey, what is this?
She'll question you. Make sure you retained it.
Cartoons. So she was like, "So how do I know that this is a king or this is a pharaoh?" And I'm like, she was like, "I just told you guys.
Right, you're not listening.
Right? Okay, now I'm gonna ask y'all again." And you know,
amazing.
Yeah, it was interactive. She wanted you to.
Yeah, she educated you, especially with all of the writing on the wall, like how to read it. If the bird's going this way, then you read it from left to right. Like she was teaching us everything. It was just that experience, like that alone was priceless.
Yeah, like I said, it was. You know, I'm a historian. I won't say historian. I am a armchair historian. So,
he loves history.
You know, the History Channel, Discovery, and stuff like that. I sit up and watch that all day. But it is a total different experience when you have somebody from that culture that is educated speaking about that culture.
Yeah, she's been in the travel industry for like 15 years. So she's very well versed. And, you know, to be there, like the pictures, you guys, does no justice. To be there, your mouth is just like, oh my gosh, these places are so huge. This is where the kings and queens live. The castles is like, oh my gosh, the ceilings, the walls, it was just humongous.
King Tut. And
amazing. What about the castle?
Here's something funny. Why the statue looks like brown color. Okay, I got this. So Miriam is throwing a quiz out
Why
at
the
us. Okay.
status?
Question: Why the why the statues look like brown color?
Do you know the
Okay,
answer?
I think I remember the answer, but I'm not sure. But the the statues that were brown or reddish color was because
We're
they were
not
out.
kings.
No, they were out in the sun all day
Yes.
working. So therefore, their skin got that
Yes.
tint to them because they was out in the hot sun all day.
Yep.
Am I
Yep.
right? And if
Yep.
I'm right, just like in Egypt, I want my candy bar.
We need our chocolate candy
I want
bar.
my chocolate. I want my chocolate. If I'm right.
So if you see any of the statues, what we were taught is that if the statues are in brown color or reddish brown, tint. Like a reddish tint, those are workers usually, and those are the ones. The reason that their statue is a little bit reddish brown, so yay, we got it right, is because they were out working in the sun. It's a symbol of them. They were workers that are out in the sun.
They doing it.
They're working hard, yeah.
And if you see blue makeup on the statues, that was they were tired. They worked hard, I believe, something along those lines. Now I'm just trying to show off
you're making stuff
right,
up
I'm just
now.
making stuff up. I'm trying to show off now. But I was right, Miriam. So I would like my Egyptian candy bar.
The chocolate bar.
Yeah, we can be halfway if you want to, but I want my candy bar just to let you know.
The castle was super impressive. I mean, they showed where this huge door where if the enemies came in, there was a hole up top where they would pour hot oil down on the enemies, and then they would burn them.
And the way the way it was positioned, the castle was a fortress. So it was by the water, and they were able to see out all over the water with different posts that they had in the castle. So they were able to repel invaders if they came from the ocean. And there were, towers for archers and things of that nature. But when we think of castle, we think of King Arthur and England and those type of castles. No, there are castles in Egypt, very prestigious castles, beautiful castles, even hundreds of years later. So that was something that we
was it second century
took a part in as well. Is that we built the castles, we fortified defenses. We took care of business in Egypt as far as any invaders that were trying to come after us. So it was amazing. It was, without a doubt. We went down in the catacombs where
oh my gosh, that
it's just
you could sense you could sense stuff there.
But there were holes in the rock where you would lay the bodies. These people weren't necessarily rich, so they didn't have the mummification and the sarcophaguses and all this. So there were 50, 60 just long holes in the wall where they put the bodies of the dead, and
so crazy.
It went far down, 50 feet down into the ground. So we were able to go up and look and see all the way down where we had just came from, and it was a very long way. On top of that, the hieroglyphics were still there, were still prominently displayed. So we took pictures of it, and it was all over the walls, and that is a history lesson right there. Writing on the walls, and they told a story throughout the different rooms that we were in, and they had guardians there. Medusa was there, so it was just true stories that they did tell us. So once again, you guys gotta go. I'm thinking of putting together a travel agency, hiring Miriam, and we make this happen for everybody I know, because man, it is just, man, when y'all go, when you come back, I won't say it changes you per se, because it's a very short amount of time, but it I guess it adds to your life experience, number one, but it does give you a different thought process to a lot of things when you see not only how people operate, halfway around the world, but for lack of a better term, your people. You know what I'm saying? This is, you know, here in America, we've carved out our niche here in America. So we are American. We're part of America. But, you know, this is a portion of, where a lot of people, where a lot of people came from. You know, I was joking around, are we back in the motherland? But to a certain extent, that is true. Is that, you know, everybody look like you, successes, failures, interaction. It's people that, you know, look like you, talk like you, have the same thought process like you know, that drum beat that black people love. This is places where this stuff originated from, is Africa. And it gives you a different perspective on life, without a doubt. But
Definitely.
we will get back to our regularly scheduled programming next week with guests. But we wanted to take this time. Like I said, it was such an experience that I felt that we had to, we wanted to kind of pod while we were there, but once again, the Wi-Fi and
we wanted to go live while we were there.
Technology kind of,
it wouldn't let us.
We were going to interview Miriam when we were there actually, but we were trying to get things taken care of in the room. We didn't present. We told her about it, and she was all for it, but we didn't present that opportunity because we didn't want to do it, half-heartedly. We wanted to make sure it was of the same professionalism that we try to do on a normal basis with our podcast. But rest assured, I will have Miriam on to talk about what she does, because that's what that's what we're trying to champion. She's a young minority that is extremely educated, that is educating others in something that everyone should know. And she's making a name for herself, kind of, moving up the chain. So we would love to highlight someone who is doing all of these wonderful things. So we would love to have her on. I'm trying to get Dr. Khalid on. So, like I said, we'll be back to our normal programming next week. But we wanted to share this with you guys. We take pride in this podcast. A majority of you guys out there are family and friends and people who've kind of caught on to the podcast, and we wanted you guys to be a part of this experience because it's something that's going to be with me for an extremely long time, without a doubt.
Yep. And if you're wanting to or want to plan an Egypt trip, let us know. We'll help you.
No doubt.
We'll definitely help you and make sure that you have a fun experience as well.
Yep. And y'all book Miriam. It's gonna go smoothly, and we'll help you get from point A to Miriam. And once you get to her, she has everything for you. What y'all need a ride to the airport after I go home? Got you. You need to change money. You need to do, oh no, you got to print out your PCR test.
I got you.
There's a place over here. Let's go over here and
she's very resourceful.
Yes, everything that we needed, she took care of. Oh man, we didn't print this out before we got to go to the airport. She got you. She bargaining with people. Hey, print this out. It goes some money. Let's get it. Let's make this happen. Come on. So it was there was nothing.
She was a mama bear.
Yeah, there was nothing that. He was like, man, I wish I could have did this or anything of that nature. It was, like I said, I can't even remember. That's what I need to do, get from Mary and list it on, list it on Facebook is all of the places we went, because we went so many places. And I got souvenirs. They give you like a ticket when you purchase, to go to whatever historical event we go to, and they rip a piece of the ticket, but they let you keep it. And I have a stack of tickets of places that we went. So, there is nothing,
I still have currency.
You want for nothing. I do too. Anywhere I go out of the country, I keep the currency. So when I was in Mumbai, I kept their currency, and you got a lot of money.
Yeah. Look, this is what the money looks like. I still have some money left.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It's $200 over here.
Yeah, the $200.
300. 300 Egyptian dollars.
But yeah, this was something to behold. So if you have the opportunity, take a chance. Go to Egypt, have a blast, have fun. It will definitely be something that you remember long after the experience is over with.
It'll only be probably about 12 to 1,500 max
Per
for,
person.
and we were there for 5-6 days.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's not bad at all.
It's so worth it.
Considering the majority of the money is the actual airplane ride.
Yeah, a majority is the airplane.
Right. So
800.
Yeah. So therefore, you know, you trick $1,000 wherever you go if you're going somewhere far away.
Anywhere.
Without a doubt, you're gonna trick a G. So
even if you're in the States.
Yeah, depending on where you go in the States, you can trick it as well. But you go to Puerto Rico, Hawaii, the Bahamas, you tricking a G. That's par for the course. So why not spend a couple of dollars more
for the experience?
Yeah, learn
culture,
have fun, be away from home, and learn some stuff that is
history.
Yeah, that should be with you for a long period of time. Yes. So on that note, we'll get out of here. We usually for an hour. We hit it right on the nose. Thank you to everyone who contributed to us going. My Aunt Arlene, my Uncle Dale, Miriam, my beautiful wife here. It was just something that was
Ahmed, the host,
Anna. Because we had hosts.
We had hosts along.
So it was 3 or 4 people.
We had 2 hosts, Dream Trip hosts, and then we also had Miriam. She's the tour guide. So the 3 of them just took care of us. Plus the security guard and the driver. Everybody just was truly amazing.
And our bodyguard, Ron O'Neill.
We had our bodyguard caught me when I'm trying to fall.
Yeah, he wasn't playing.
He kept everyone away from us. It was just pretty amazing.
It was. So on that note, thank you guys for joining us on Blazing Soul Podcast. Once again, next week we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming where we'll have guests and you know, answering questions and furthering that narrative that we usually do. But you guys had to share this experience with us, and thank you for sharing this experience with us. We're out. Peace.
Lock on.